Jack Hermansson versus Marvin Vettori took place in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 16, Hermansson versus Vettori, and I was so wrong about the fight. I thought that Marvin Vettori was taking a little bit of a jump up too soon. I thought that Jack Hermansson was going to go out there and submit him in the first round. I was flabbergasted and shocked by the fact that Hermansson was an underdog leading into this, but apparently the odds makers knew more than the entire MMA community, because Vettori went out there and looked amazing in that first round and in every round, in all honesty. He took rounds 2 and 3 a little bit more slowly, but then came back in rounds 4 and 5, got a bit of a second wind, came out there with a bit more volume and secured himself the win. I thought it could have been 4-1. I thought I gave him the second round. Hermansson outlanded Vettori in the second round, but I still thought Vettori did enough, but he just went out there and beat Hermansson in every part of the game, which was crazy. But I think this is an upset win. I don't even care if Vettori was the favourite. Among common perception, this is an upset win for Marvin Vettori, and he looks sensational while doing it. And I almost feel like the odds makers making him the favourite takes away from this win a little bit, because Vettori just looked really good. Steps up on short notice. A bit of an opponent change against Jack Hermansson. I know it wasn't really short notice, but still, he wasn't really training for Jack Hermansson the entire time. But even was Jack Hermansson training for Marvin Vettori, Jack Hermansson had to switch a bunch of opponents as well. I just didn't see that coming. Marvin Vettori goes out there and just pieces him up for 5 rounds pretty much. Has a bit of a rough third round. I thought Hermansson might be starting to make a little bit of a comeback, but I even said in my live stream Fight Companion that it looked like Marvin Vettori was kind of taking that round off. He knew he'd lost a round already, so he didn't really exert himself looking for a big finish or anything like that. Came back in the fourth, 52-32 on strikes. It was just crazy. I don't know how in the 4th round, when Vettori has trained for a 3-round fight for so long, in the 4th round is where he has all of the cardio to land his biggest output of the entire fight. It was very crazy, and Marvin Vettori's head movement was on point. Even in the first round grappling, Hermansson's got him in deep on single legs, and Vettori's just stuffing him like it isn't Hermansson taking him down. That was the craziest thing out there. Vettori made Hermansson not look like Hermansson. Hermansson just completely ripped apart the legs of Kelvin Gastelum like they were nothing. He just ragdolls David Branch like he's nothing. He slams Cannonier to the ground, and even though he lost that fight, takes his back easily in the first, gets him down with relative ease. Of course, there were some moments that weren't so easy in that fight, but he had good success on the ground, and Marvin Vettori just showed us, like he said, I can compete with Jack Hermansson anywhere. I thought that was a little bit far-fetched. I thought Hermansson was going to go out there and get the submission in the first 2 rounds. But Marvin Vettori, man, really good. I'm in one of those positions again like I was after the Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till fight, where I'm like, there's nothing. I like to rejoice for Marvin Vettori's win, because I'm a big Marvin Vettori fan. I've picked him all the way up until this bout. But I also feel bad for Jack Hermansson because, again, he didn't need to save this event. You know what I mean? Like, he had his toe problem. He didn't need to save this event, but he saved it anyway for the fans to watch, because the pressure is on for him. He just took it without question, and it's really backfired for him, and I feel I know I'm laughing, but I feel really bad for Jack Hermansson's flight home. And Jack Hermansson's flight home, he forgot his noise-cancelling headphones. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything is crashing down on Hermansson's world. Not only does he have to have that flight home, but he doesn't even have his noise-cancelling headphones with him. His coach better give him those noise-cancelling headphones, because that's actually got me feeling down a little bit right now. But Marvin Vettori goes out there, tunes him up. The head movement of Vettori, just looking at this round 5 stats now, 54-30 in favour of Marvin Vettori. Actually, the 4th round wasn't his highest output. The 5th round was his highest output, and he won that round quite clearly. Great fight IQ. He seemed like he knew when he had won the rounds, and he knew it when he had lost the rounds as well. Round 1 could have been a 10-8 under the new scoring, where 10-8s are a little bit easier. I wouldn't have given it a 10-8, but I was assuming that the judges were going to give it a 10-8. One of them did, in fact, give that a 10-8 round. Other 2 didn't, but still, good performance by Marvin Vettori. Dropped him in the first round. I didn't know Vettori had that kind of power, but Hermansson's stand-up is, I just want to kind of say it how it is here. Hermansson's stand-up is just not good enough. It's just a little bit unacceptable. You know, like, he's a pro fighter, and he's top 5, and his grappling is really, really, really good. But his his stand-up it needs a bit of work. And Vettori was making such easy reads against him, like dipping out the way of the shots, firing back with 1-2s, slipping on the inside or the outside of the jab and firing a 2 down the center right on the chin. I mean, it was just beautiful boxing by Marvin Vettori, but I think it was a mix of both things. It was the fact that Vettori's good on the feet and has those fundamentals and that good head movement and those pop-in shots down the center with no telegraphing. And it was also the fact that Hermansson didn't really have too many skilled abilities on the feet, but he did do good. And one thing that he does have is a whole bunch of heart. And I honestly thought for a second there in the 5th round, I shat my pants a little bit, because it seemed like Vettori was going to scoot away to win. I actually given the fight to Vettori. I was basically under the impression that Vettori had won the fight after the 4th round. I didn't see the round 5 going differently for Jack Hermansson. But he had the heel hook from the gods in the end of the 5th round when Vettori got a little bit sloppy. Hermansson just goes straight for that heel. It shows how dangerous Hermansson is in all moments of the fight. But Vettori stuffed the takedowns, got back up when they had him in a bad position, reversed the takedowns on Jack Hermansson, ended up on top, controlled him in half guard, landed good shots in the ground and pound. Not too many shots, but he didn't want to overextend himself and give Hermansson a sweep, so he was controlling, also landing some good shots to the body in the clinch as well. His total strikes were much higher. He landed 202 total strikes. Marvin Vettori calls out Paulo Costa afterwards. I'm so glad. The middleweight division has some life. You know, calls out Paulo Costa afterwards. I swear, if Marvin Vettori didn't have a call out after this, I would be very annoyed. But he says, Borrachinha, we're going to have an amazing fight, let's go, or something along those lines. I mean, it wasn't the most creative call out in the world, but all we needed was a call out. And we got one. And now it looks like Marvin Vettori versus Paulo Costa is going to take place next. And I think Vettori's going to beat Costa, because I think we're going to see the difference in how to handle losses. But then again, Vettori still hasn't gotten over the Israel Adesanya thing. But I feel like the fight between Marvin and Costa is kind of like a battle of the who gets to rematch Adesanya kind of situation. But the problem with the middleweight division is that Bobby Knuckles is right there waiting for his turn. So I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like Israel Adesanya right now, and I think the UFC needs to realize this as well, this ain't an empty division that Adesanya's going to leave. Like, if Figueiredo wants to move up after the Garbrandt fight, fair play. He's wiped out the flyweight division pretty much, other than Askar Askarov. And Askarov might lose to Joseph Benavidez, so who knows? But if Adesanya's got Whittaker on 2-fight win streak looking for a rematch, Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa winner, going to want something as well. If Marvin Vettori wins, he's definitely going to want something, a big jump up, a title shot at the end of it, because he's beaten 2 top 5 guys in a row. I just feel as though Adesanya moving to light heavyweight right now would be a bit of a problem. And I also feel as though Adesanya should just wait, because I feel like if he waits and wins again, he'd only build his super fight even further. Come back, deal with Robert Whittaker. We'll figure out the rest of the situation with Vettori, Costa, Cannonier versus Till. Brunson needs a jump up. Weidman's going to have to take someone on real soon. We'll see what happens with the rest of them. But I say Adesanya, come back, deal with the Whittaker rematch. We'll see what happens there. I swear, if Whittaker wins and we have to sit through a trilogy, that's just going to be such a log jam at middleweight. But I just feel like, let Jan Blachowicz defend against Glover Teixeira. Teixeira's earned it. Blachowicz would only build his name with a big win there as well. Then you can do the super fight afterwards. But I feel like it's just the division's a bit too stacked now. You know, Adesanya left it too long to sign the fight with Jan Blachowicz. And now Vettori's just jumped straight to the top. Just like that. Good on you, Marvin Vettori. Went out there and just had a bit of a clinic against him there. That was very good. But one thing I will say, that round 5 and 4, I respect Jack Hermansson. Because even though he was getting tuned up and was clearly outgunned on the feet by just getting outstruck, he just started slinging them back for no care in the world about his own chin and about him getting KO'd. And I respect that in Jack Hermansson, because he knew he was down on the cards. He knew he needed to come back in that 5th round, so he just started saying fuck it and swinging. I respect that, man, because you see so many of these fighters like Gian Vellante watching Collier just scoot away with a loss like he doesn't even care about his career. And you watch these other fighters on these cards just accepting losses, not going for it at the end of the round, trying to secure a round back for themselves, just staring and watching the guy scoot around the outside and securing the win. But Hermansson was not letting Vettori get that win without a fight, and Vettori just kept peppering him down. That 2 down the pipe was a thing of beauty. The uppercuts that he was landing good knees as well. Hermansson, I feel like, should have gone to the leg kicks a bit more. They were working for him, but he just didn't want to, because every time he did, Vettori would throw a good counter. Both guys threw good body kicks in the fight. I just think the boxing of Vettori is actually beautiful. I'm going to say it in this video, and we're going to get dislikes. It's unfortunate, though, and I said this during my Fight Companion stream. I think they should do Vettori versus Costa next. But I just want to say this. I feel like I can't get hyped about a middleweight title fight, because I know Israel Adesanya's on steroids. You know? So it's kind of a shitty situation right now, because Adesanya's 30 years of age. He grew a breast. A doctor that doesn't know anything about it came out and said that it could be other things. And then some other guys who are actual experts in taking roids came out and said more plates, more dates, came out and said he's definitely on it. Like, this gynecomastia from a hormone imbalance. He never had it as a child. He blamed it on weed. Oh, my God. Paulo Costa has biceps. People say he's on roids. Adesanya grows a breast at 30 years of age due to a hormone imbalance, blames it on smoking weed, and no one says anything. No one says anything about it. I don't know, dude. I just can't. That's the problem that I'm having right now in the middleweight division. It's because I keep saying to myself, this makes the Adesanya fight interesting, and I keep thinking, but wait, Adesanya grew a breast due to a hormone imbalance. There's no way around that. Adesanya said that he was going to get scans after his fight to see what it was, and never showed us those scans. Adesanya blamed it on smoking weed. An athlete in his 30 years of age smoked, I guess, one pull too much on a joint, and now he has a breast. We're supposed to believe that fucking shit? Are you kidding me? I don't know, dude. I'm getting angry now. Maybe I shouldn't get angry. I should just be happy with the fight we just had. Amazing performance by Vettori. Hermansson has got to work on some things. It's going to be a hard road back to the top for Hermansson. But luckily for Hermansson, and I said this before, he's beaten good guys in the middleweight division, so it will keep him above a lot of people in that division, I feel like. But good stuff. I just feel bad for Hermansson, man, because he did this for the fans. And can we just get a thank you, Hermansson, in the chat? I know Hermansson likes to say, thank you, Philadelphia, for the win, and I understand, but can we get a thank you, Jack Hermansson, in the comment section below? Because he didn't need to take this one, and he took it anyway, you know? And now he's probably going to drop down to number 7. And this could have been I know it wasn't going to happen, but he kind of considered this his route to the title, you know? Like, fuck! No noise-cancelling headphones on the plane back as well. That's going to be a noisy, sad flight home. But I like Jack Hermansson. Looking forward to seeing who he fights next. I think they could maybe do him versus Edmund Shabazian. I don't know if they would do that one, to be honest with you. Maybe they could do him versus the Gastelum. He's already fought Gastelum. See, the problem is with the middleweight division, it's so difficult to find matchups. Maybe they could do Jack Hermansson versus... I know Weidman's taking on Uriah Hall. I've just remembered that fight got booked. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe rebook Hermansson versus Till, but Till, I imagine Hermansson's going to want some time off. He took a lot of damage, and Till, I think, should fight Cannonier. So I don't know, man. Maybe Hermansson versus the loser of Adesanya versus Whittaker, and we just reward him if it's Whittaker, let's say, and he slips down the rankings by 1. Then maybe we can do Whittaker versus Hermansson in April or May or June or July, the middle of the year area, maybe, after Whittaker gets his title shot again. But that's what they should do next in the middleweight division. Adesanya versus Whittaker 2. Costa versus Marvin Vettori in March or April. Jared Cannonier versus Darren Till in March or April. Jack Hermansson versus the loser of Whittaker versus Adesanya. Yoel Romero's gone. Oh, God, it's very sad. Very sad times. Oh, well. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Click that button up there. Marvin Vettori proved me wrong. Good shit, dude. Good shit. You're a very talented man. I really overlooked you here. Goodbye. See you later. Toodle pip.